56 or 60 plus ground stations. This means that they are fixed locations. So our team wanted to create a mobile monitoring system and also monitor the PM2.5 particles in the air, not just at the ground level. In any case, our system also has other sensors. For example, there's the temperature sensor, there's a humidity sensor, air pressure sensor, there's even GPS on it. So we used all these things to address the issue. But first thing first is to realize what issue you want to fix. So that's the first part. Okay. Then the product name for our product was Aerial Air Quality Monitoring System using CANSAT, which basically explains we want to measure the air quality as our satellite descends from 200 meters altitude. So we're going to drop the satellite from 200 meters altitude, and as it drops, we will measure the air quality in terms of its the air pressure, the humidity, temperature, the concentration of the 2.5 micrometer particles, and we're going to use all that to process its data and basically monitor the air quality. At the same time, our product, right, also we plan on using it as a tool. Once this competition is over, we intend on using the CANSAT as a tool as well. In which sense is that we could use it to study air quality, not just for the competition purpose, but also we could use it for example, in basically areas which are remote and we can't have ground stations, we could just replace it with our product. So moving on to the product specifications. First, we have the CANSAT. Okay, in the CANSAT, we have multiple sensors, as previously mentioned. There's a GPS on board as well to allow us to know where exactly the CANSAT was and monitor real-time location and altitude as well as its parameters. And on board, we have a radio frequency transceiver actually. This would establish a communication link with the ground station. The ground station's only purpose is to monitor the health status of the CANSAT. The communication only goes from CANSAT to the ground station. So on the ground station, we can monitor what's going on in the air at real time. For example, what is the concentration of PM2.5 in the air at that certain altitude, the humidity, the temperature at that certain altitude as it constantly descends. Moving on to the design. Okay, the design is split into a few sections, to be honest. There is the electronic subsystem and there is the mechanical subsystem, as you can see on this side. This is the mechanical part where the chassis, the fixtures, all this is part of the mechanical side, the mechanical system. Then we have the electrical system, which is internal. In the electrical system, we have data acquisition, which is the PM2.5 sensors, the GPS sensor, and another load of sensor by another module. And then we have the power management system, which essentially provides power and also ensures safe power delivery to the data processing subsystem. Our processing subsystem is Raspberry Pi. In contrary to the usual Arduino, we decided to give it a bit of a challenge. We used the Raspberry Pi. Then all this data is transmitted using the 433 megahertz transmission system to the ground station. The same receiver is down here, and then it will be sent to the ground station, which will be displayed as live telemetry data. The name of our CANSAT is called STEMSAT SL1 officially. And here, regarding our mechanical design, there were constraints in our competition. It had to be less than 1 kilogram. Yes, less than 1 kg. And also, there was a
350 gram.
I'm sorry, it's 150 gram.
350 gram.
350 gram weight limit. So all our designs had to be done around that. At the same time, there's also a volume limit. For example, you've all had a Coke before, right? Coke can. Exactly that size. No larger. If it's any larger or any protrusions out of it, besides the antenna, we would get eliminated. So this is a simulation of our ground station where all telemetry data will be sent from the CANSAT to the ground station. And you'll be able to observe all the live data, such as the level of PM2.5, the altitude as it descends, the temperature, the humidity, and such. We can even see the orientation of the CANSAT. This is just a simulation. We're still on the works of it. And our test range, it's a satellite which is being dropped from the air. So we need a large area. And since we are dropping from 200 meters with a parachute attached, we decided to use the UMP anti-plot in front of the chancellery. Since this is a large area, we could do our tests here with no obstructions. Okay, in terms of project management might be overlooked in a lot of projects, but it's actually an important part. In project management, we need, first off, an organization chart. So for my team of 6 people, we broke down into multiple subsystems or sub-teams. For example, there's a team to handle the electronic subsystem. There's a team for mechanical subsystem who design the chassis. The electronic subsystem would design the electronic components, the interconnections and such. The software team would in turn develop the software which would run the electronic system. Then we have the timelines. In a large project like this, there was multiple phases. We had the first phase, the second phase, and third phase, and at the moment we're in the fourth phase. We need a plan to know where we are at, how well we are doing, and also how far behind are we if we are lagging. This is a Gantt chart. So we devised the Gantt chart to estimate how long we would, and not just estimate, also to list down everything that needs to be done, an estimation of how long it will take, from when to when, the duration, and the assignment of the task to the person. So through this, we get to know where we stand. For example, if we are late, essentially we get to know where we stand and we can work on where we lag. So that's project management. There's also another part which is project costing, where we list out the bill of materials, which isn't too hard for our case. Since we did most of our purchases online, we could get that specific cost of the materials, and in that case, we get to know exactly how much we spend. Okay, I have a question from Jonathan. What is the difference between electronic and software? Electronic is the team where we focus on what components to get, what were the methods of interacting between each component. Like some components use different communication methods, and also the wiring of the entire project. Meanwhile, the software team mainly develops the software. Our proposed components were sent to them, and they would devise the code required to run the electronics. Before we move on to the question and answer, Kamil, do you have anything?
I don't think so. You pretty much covered everything already.
All right. So in that case, we'll move on to question and answer. If there's any questions, do ask.
So this is the contour. This is the example that Cikgu Puan is giving us right now.
This is basically, we're trying to show you what a proposal will look like. For our level, this was a national competition. So we would like to show you our level of a presentation, of a proposal, the technical level of it.
Cikgu, someone asked, what is the software that you use to complete the Gantt chart?
Okay, before I go to that, back to your question, the actual proposal wasn't this simple, but we expect at least the community issue to address the name of your product, the proposed product, the product specifications, the system design, and up to the product evaluation, if possible. The project management side, it would be a great plus if you had it. It would show that you are very organized as a team. But at your current level, I believe we do not expect this out of you. What software do you use to create the Gantt chart? This was Excel sheet, to be honest. It was just a simple Excel sheet, but my teammate, it was not done by me. He found a specific Excel template which allowed creation of Gantt chart easily. You could try looking it up. Excel Gantt chart template.
Pua, may I add a bit?
Sure, madam.
Okay. So the main reason, like Pua mentioned just now, if we can have something that can tabulate the progress, it will be easier for us to monitor. In case there are certain parts that is moving a bit delay, we can push it so that we can get on track. So simply made, if you can make a table out of it, it will be sufficient enough. So there are tools out there who which can cater these kind of needs. You might even heard Microsoft project and so on, which has this kind of element. But like Pua mentioned just now, Excel would also be helpful, would be handy in doing this kind of chart. Right? Okay, thank you.
What software we used to create the plots? This was a software called Live Telemetry Viewer version 0.6. It's a free software online. It's coded in Java.
For our level, Cikgu expect us to do at least what section? Because telemetry, we haven't learned at all.
Okay, Aaron, what Pua is showing here you is an example of his project. Of course, all of you might not come with the same hardware or the same project to propose, but it is good to see on how depth that is the depth that is required in order for you to have a good technical proposal. So, say for example, if you don't mind, can you share what are the community's issues that you are trying to solve, Aaron, from your group?
We want to solve dengue in dengue.
Okay, you would like to handle dengue issues. So, have you come into or have you do some survey on what are the products or what are the solution that could best suited your community?
Yes,
to
we
counter
do,
dengue issues?
but this is not finalized yet because we need to seek the advisor suggestion from Cikgu Akasha.
Okay, so meaning that you will go through this product development phase in which you will reach into one point that you have to evaluate your product. Say for example, in this case, you might require a certain setup in which you might have your device together with several mosquitoes and so on to see how it works in order to encounter this kind of situation. So for this evaluation your representation might not be able, may not be the same as what Puah is showing here.
When we will
Okay.
need to carry out our presentation, the my digital marker virtual pay.
Repeat that, Erin.
When we will need to conduct our presentation for the My Digital Maker virtual fair.
It will be in October. But for product, but for technical proposal presentation, it will be on this coming 16th September. I will announce this after the class. Okay. So Puah, is it you to continue or Kamil to continue?
I would just like add to the previous question.
Okay.
A bit. So like my team, the CanSet team, also started with a basic knowledge of pretty much nothing, as in like I know 3D design, Puah knows electrical design and all that, and then we have to push our knowledge, our basic from any resources, mostly online resources, to complete our task instead of just, oh, I already know this, I'm just going to do something with this. No, we need to expand our knowledge instead of just using the basic that we have.
Okay, thank you, Kamil. Just now, you guys have touched project management as well, right? To delegate the task between among group members, correct?
I mean, I'm not.
Okay. Okay.
If there's any other
All right.
questions,
Puah, have finished?
If there's any other questions,
Okay. Any questions?
To add on to what
from
Kamil said
Ninjas?
just now, basically what we're trying to say is that we are a team with different specialties and we complement each other. So like in the electronic team, in this rooster just now, we all have our own specializations and we complement each other. Like he knows mechanical, I know electronics, and the other person knows software. And from that way, we work together to accomplish our design.
Yes, Zenhun, we will share to you guys the
mechanical
template.
sub-team, right? They focused on the mechanical chassis here. They designed this chassis and basically everything physical. Meanwhile, the electronics team focused on what components to get for each subsystem to do its job. Then the software system would code each electrical component to make them function. I hope that answers your question. Madam? May I ask how long do you have for the Q&A?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, about 1 or 2 more minutes. Is there any other questions? Haikal, are you asking something? No, no other questions. All right. Never mind. Should there be any questions and so on, you can just text us and also WhatsApp us. We may entertain you from time to time. Yeah, you are required to do the slides. Okay, Puah. Can you unshare?
I think I now want to ask something in the meantime. What software do I use? I use a lot. That's the only answer I can give you. I use SolidWorks. I use Fusion 360. I also use the Tinkercad software online. So pretty much everything that I can get my hands on.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Kamil. In intermediate 1 class, you guys use the Tinkercad platform. Having said so, yeah, you can also explore some other tools that may help you to create or to generate a good prototype that a good model that would later on be submitted to us for us to print it out and pass it to you for you to develop your project. Okay, so basically just now Paul and Kamil had walked through this item. So the last thing that you had discussed in your group basically ended here last time, yeah, whereby you had identified your community issue to address and so on. So we will in a short while we will assign you to technical mentors in which you can further discuss item number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. Okay, so we will also share to you this template, and I would like to suggest you to make use of your knowledge that you had learned in Cikgu Koyum's class in infographic class to come up with visually attractive, as Adam mentioned just now, visually attractive proposal to be presented to us on this coming September 16th.
Excuse
Right?
me, is it 15th September or
15 September for you is the due date to submit. On the 16th September for you to present it. We normally call this session as proposal defense session, in which we will give to you
so this is like a
in which we will give to
clone
you real time
competition
feedback
a clone.
for you to improvise should you have to. Okay.
A clone lah, macam
Okay, you can
kertas
call this
model.
as a mock preparation for your My Digital Maker Fair pun okay. 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 Alright. Okay. So one thing that I would like to touch is this one. I think for those who had gone through the intermediate 1 class with Dr. Isma, he require you guys to submit the 3D model design file. The latest,
betul.
Dr. Isma ada kat sini, Dr. Isma? The latest by September 16, ya? Okay. So it would be good if you can emulate what Puah and Kamil had done, in which each and every team members is being assigned to do part by part so that the person can focus. So for example, one person will be focusing on, in this case, the mechanical part will be focusing on developing the prototype. And on the electronics part, we will be focusing on the electronics components, and also software part, focusing on the software part. Okay? So, if there is no other questions, I would like to continue with the next segment, in which we will require you to go into your separate team meeting rooms.
So is it
and
the
from
soft
there,
skills group,
we
right?
can kickstart to discuss on how to further develop your project proposal and so on. Okay? Yeah, it is the same as the soft skill group. Okay, let me flash to you guys the group members in case you don't remember. Okay, basically these are the groupings. Group number 1, Chen Shizan, Aaron, Iman, Tengku. Group number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, up until 24 teams. Okay, so here is the list of the facilitator, in which they will join you shortly as well. I will paste the link inside the inside the message box here. So I'm unsharing this screen. So around 11, can you be in your separate rooms? Okay.
Can we split up for now?
Yes, you can. Just give me 2 seconds, 2 minutes to paste to you guys the link that you should go into. Or has that been shared? Not yet. Okay, give me 2 minutes to paste. Then you can enter your team rooms.
when we will need to link up back. Until 2
You will
p.m.
disembark from your team's meeting. So we won't be gathering back.
So can we leave this group now?
No, until
Then can we
12.
join?
Until 12 today, we will resume from 2 until 5.
Okay.
Yes, you can leave this room. Yes, we are
So-
now
so
done.
will we
You can
leave this
please
group
go
now?
to your respective teams meeting room,
Thank you, Doctor.
and you shall meet your advisor there. Yes, you can leave this group now. Munir.
Hello.
Okay.
Hi, Logan.
Emerson. Hello,
You
Emerson.
are the-
Very good, everybody.
Emerson, you still haven't on your cam.
Yes.
We want to see you